Now, I am not a Luddite. I love the technology. I love the gadgets. I have them all, and they can help us do extraordinary things. They're wonderful. And later in the conference, I think later this afternoon, we're going to hear from Rohan, who's going to talk to us about how we can use the gadgets now, how people are starting to think about using the technology to help us be more mindful, to help us slow down, in a sense. But I don't think we're quite there yet. I think for most of us, the gadgets are getting in the way because we don't use that little red button that says off, and they start to backfire on us. The technology ends up penetrating and polluting the most intimate moments of our lives when we're supposed to be reading stories to our children or making love to our partner. We're distracted, our minds are all over the place. But that distraction also makes us less intelligent. And that's the message now coming from the big high-tech firms. Hewlett-Packard put out a report a little while ago warning that the constant barrage of electronic interruptions causes our IQ to fall 10 points. Now, 10 points is a lot. That's double the effect of smoking marijuana. So we've swallowed this idea that seems so profoundly modern, that to be always on, that phrase of the moment, to be the person who picks up every phone call on the first ring and gets back to every email within 30 seconds is going to turn us into an uber-productive master of the universe. When in fact what it does, it turns us into Cheech and Chong, right? Or Charlie Sheen or Ozzy Osbourne, whoever your drug addict of the moment happens to be, which is, let's face it, not that useful in most workplaces, which is why you're seeing more and more companies looking for ways, trying to hammer out ways to put speed limits on the information superhighway. There are zillions of examples. I'm just going to pluck one out now, and that's Volkswagen, which has tweaked its BlackBerry service so that staff can no longer send and receive email outside of working hours. And you hear that and think, whoa, that sounds a very odd thing to do for a big international company with a global supply chain. Well, that's not a suicide note, far from it. What Volkswagen did was looked at who really needed to be contactable outside working hours and shut everybody else down. And it's worked a treat because at Volkswagen, as in many of our own companies, those emails that chase us home, that persecute and pester us, that we're looking at under the kitchen dinner table when we should be talking to our children, or that we're frantically trying to answer in bed while our spouse brushes her teeth next door, most of those emails aren't that important. They could wait. Or if the person who sent them was forced to wait, they wouldn't send them in the first place.